Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/ProRevenge. Today we have another set of 3 crazy revenge stories for you. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Banned from Section 8. This happened when I was a manager at a pizza delivery store in my town. You know which one, the good one. Let me tell you just a little bit about my town. It's tiny. It used to be called a city, but in the past few years, they changed it to a town. I have no effing idea why, but if that doesn't scream small rural area, I don't know what does. That being said, the store wasn't all that busy compared to other stores. This left us really slow at night, and all the staff we'd need was a closing manager and a closing driver from 8 p.m. on. To be honest, closing sucks. Anyone that's worked in food and closed knows that nothing is worse than those late-night customers and the hassle of getting home at 3 a.m. I sure do. But that's one thing about this small town store I loved. We would die down around 8 o'clock and I could slowly close and clean the store with only leaving the essentials until we actually closed at midnight. This was awesome because it allowed the driver and myself to leave as early as 5 minutes past on a fairly regular basis. Anyone that's worked in delivering food knows where to expect tips and where not to expect tips. Your local Section 8 housing is typically a dry spot. If you walk out with 2 quarters and a dime and a couple of pennies, consider yourself lucky. But there's something very special about our local Section 8. That is the complex police. Ooh, scary. They have this guy suited up and he looks like a legit cop, except he doesn't have a gun and has no authority. But they do give him a Jeep that has blue lights and say apartment police on it. This guy, for whatever reason, has it out for delivery drivers from all the pizza places in town. I know this because we sometimes hired ex-workers from the other stores, and they all know him on a first-name basis. If the guy didn't look like he would kidnap a child right after he finished clipping his toes for his toenail collection, I would potentially hire him, because he takes his job so seriously. The Section 8 driveway has a few speed bumps as well as posted 5 miles per hour signs that are handwritten, I think by our cop. My main full-time driver gives me a call in the middle of the shift one day and says that the guy has pulled him over for speeding in the complex. My driver says the police want to talk to the manager, so I get on the phone with him and he tells me that I need to come to the complex and talk with him as well as write up my employee. I told him I can't leave the store and you can't detain my driver. He knows I'm right. He told me that if he catches him again, he'll call the cops. Okay, rolls eyes. So the day goes on and the driver and I laugh it off. The next day we're working together again as usual because most of my workers are students that drive part-time and can't close. So around 8 o'clock we get an order for Section 8. Sure enough, 10 minutes go by and I'm getting a call. My driver parked in the parking lot to make a delivery, and when he came back out of the apartment, he saw the cop sitting in his car, and they made eye contact. The cop immediately pulls up behind my driver's car and has him blocked in. He said he's detaining him until the real police show up because he's parked without a parking permit. At this point, I think it's a effing joke, because yesterday he may or may not have been speeding. The guy definitely does not have a radar gun, but just how mad could this guy be? So I tell my driver to just wait for the cops and to talk to them. Maybe a half hour goes by and my driver gets back to the store to report to me what happened. The cops didn't fine him for parking without a permit. The cops did not write him a speeding ticket. But the cops told the complex police that he could ban him from coming back to the property, even if it's for work. So now we have a written notice not to take delivery orders to the crappiest tipping customers in town, as well as to never be harassed by this D-bag police guy again. I know I'm lurking on how bad of a guy this complex policeman was, but just know that the people in the Section 8 housing would always call last minute to order food 5 minutes before closing, then call back and complain so they could get free credit to use it the next night, all without leaving a tip. This was infuriating because we knew that they were abusing the system as well as wasting our driver's time. On top of all that, we have to take out all the ingredients and use clean dishes to prepare the order and rewash and just do a bunch of extra work, keeping us there for at least another half hour, as well as waiting for the driver to get back from the delivery to add the money to the till to prepare the nightly deposit. All in all, late night orders suck. That being said, with our new permit of F-offery, when my closing driver and I get a call late night from Section 8 to ruin our night, it's, "Oh, sorry, your complex police has banned our driver from delivering." "Oh, what's that? You'll just pick it up?" "Sorry, pickup closes at 10 p.m. Sorry for the inconvenience. Have a nice night." And our next story. If it's not in my garbage can, don't throw it away. "Okay, Karen, I guess I'll leave all the trash you throw around on the floor as well." This happened before I graduated college. I was working a part-time housekeeping job for a doctor's office after closing. The most annoying thing was the blatant disregard from the people who worked there. In particular, the women at the front portions of the office would throw trash everywhere and not put it in the can. Under their desk, the floor would be covered in trash right around the trash can, and most of the time I wouldn't even have to change the garbage bag. Just dump the very few pieces that managed to get in the can, then literally crawl around under the desk on my hands and knees picking up all their crap. I'm talking paper thrown everywhere, old folders they'd clean out from closets, candy wrappers, tuna cans. You're eating tuna in an office? And thousands of peanut shells, to name a few. They just didn't care. The amount of lazy you have to be to throw garbage right beside the can and not in it astounds me. I've never complained to anyone about it because even though it pissed me off, I figured it was less effort to pick it up. That is until I got a note. A very passive-aggressive note from a particularly messy woman letting me know I threw her calendar away, and why would I ever do such a thing? One, the calendar was propped up next to her garbage can. That's usually the universal sign of, hey, this needs to be thrown away, and they threw stuff like that away all the time. So why put it there if it isn't trash? Two, there's so much garbage under your desk every single night, how am I supposed to know when something isn't trash? Three, it isn't my job to determine what is and what isn't to be thrown away. It was my bad that I threw the calendar away because I didn't pay attention to the dates or anything on it. Like I said, there's always crap everywhere. But when I got this note, I was PO'd. The nerve. After I spend so much unnecessary time cleaning up garbage that you can't be bothered to actually put in your trash cans because you're too lazy? Fine. If it's not in my can, don't touch it. You got it. I won't touch anything that isn't in your garbage can. I left everything that was on the floor exactly where it was and just changed the bags. Needless to say, she didn't like that and complained to my supervisor. My response was, but I was just doing exactly what she told me to do. Shrug. My petty butt was pleased. Edited to say, my supervisor told the office manager that if they wanted their trash taken out, they needed to put it in the trash can. Otherwise, nothing would be thrown away, with the exception of boxes labeled trash that were too big for cans. I'm not allowed to leave early? Okay, I won't. Our store had been going through major renovations, official reopening, the works. There was a new department manager after I stepped down from that position from too much stress and a lack of support from upper management. A little about the new manager. She was a nice enough lady, but perhaps more ill-suited to that position than I had been. I was helping her learn the ropes of how our department worked, all fine except for a major inability to self-solve, which led me to turning my phone off outside of my working hours. She'd call me constantly in a panic with minor questions that plenty of other people in store could have answered. The store manager was an all-stick and no-carrot kind of person who treated every question and issue as an inconvenience. She was a nightmare to work for, even if she liked you. Many good people quit when she took over our store, myself included, after about 6 months. I'd worked for that company for 10 years. There was one particular day where we were already going to be short on staff and it was a busy shopping day. Thursday, pension day. I needed to leave by a certain time in the afternoon, let's say 3 o'clock, for an important doctor's appointment. I'd given plenty of notice, but the day before I was told I couldn't go. It was too late to reschedule without being charged the entire appointment fee. Cue whining from DM. But I need you. It's so busy and I don't have enough cover. What's this appointment for anyway? Me. It's an important doctor's appointment. I'm not telling you anymore because last time I shared with you, the whole store knew my personal business. But what am I supposed to do? I don't know. You're the manager. Cue later in the day. I'm summoned into the store manager's office. I'm informed in no uncertain terms that I'm not allowed to leave early on this day because the department is short-staffed and they need me. Being a meek little thing, I bend to my store manager's will. I say, okay, and shuffle off with my head down. Now, I'm understandably upset. My fragile mental state is in tatters. I feel that this is all really unfair and somehow wrong. So I call the only resource I have, the union. I'm crying and explain the situation to the kind lady on the phone. Now, because there was never any paperwork submitted for leaving early, normally rearranging shifts, etc., was done verbally, then updated in the roster. There wasn't anything she could do in an official capacity. But then she threw me a lifeline. You're going to the doctor anyway, right? You're within your rights to take a sick day. Get your doctor to write you a note. They can't force you to come in. You can't get in trouble for it. They will have to pay you for it. So that's what I did. I did as I was told. I didn't leave early. I called in sick and just didn't show up at all. Instead of losing 1 to 2 hours of staffed hours, they lost a whole day for being unreasonable bullies. The next day, I heard all about how the department was chaos. I felt bad, but it also felt good to set a boundary with these people that they were taking advantage of my good nature. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.